All right. So first thing is, here we go, 7.1. All right. Now, what I did with the other classes, I went through and I did the odds with them. So if you want to tonight, you can pause the video and double check yourself. But we're going to go down and do the evens. Now, I was a little mad at some of my kids yesterday because they said, well, they didn't know what a monomial was, so they couldn't do it because I didn't specifically say what 1 through 6 was. Well, if you don't know what a monomial means, just hit what? Google and look up monomial, and it'll tell you exactly what it is. All right, so everybody should have the answers for 1 through 6.
I don't.
Yeah, because you didn't what?
Well, I looked at the definition, but I wasn't sure.
Monomial means what? One term. What separates terms? Addition and subtraction. All right, so number 1, is that a monomial?
Yes.
Yes, because that's one term. Number 2 is called a binomial because it has what? 2 terms. What separates terms? Addition and subtraction. Number 3 is nothing. It's not considered a polynomial or a monomial or a binomial because we have a variable in the denominator. Because we have a variable in the denominator. Is everybody okay with that? All right, now, number 4, what do you think that is? A monomial. What do you think about number 5? Monomial, very good. Because what separates terms again? Addition and subtraction. That is what? Multiplication. So multiplication is a single term. It doesn't matter how many letters there are. It matters how much addition and subtraction there is. All right? Now, number 6 is called a what, guys? A two-nomial, yes.
Oh.
Or a binomial.
Sorry.
A binomial.
Two-nomial.
All right, very good. Yes. Yes. Now, listen, there's some problems going on with the iPads about updating or something.
Yeah.
So, you guys, listen to me. There's things out of my control. Do you understand that? So, I don't want to be distracted. I'm still going to do the work. I don't care what problems you have right now. All right? So, a good solution, if you're having trouble with your iPads and you can still get into Notability, is just do the notes on Notability and look at the problems that are on the board. All right? If you want to try to go fix your iPad, have at it. All right? Do whatever you think you got to do. But I'm going to teach, and we're not going to be interrupted. All right? So here we go. Now we're doing the evens. I'm sure everybody can tell me that is. Hold up. We're going to start back here. Miss Vitello, tell me about number 8. The answer is? You're awesome, girl. X to the 10th. Number 11. Good. And number 12. I'm happy. Tyler, are you good? You think you can get that? Let's listen. The rule is when you multiply, you add exponents. Okay, so here's what I want. But you still multiply those. So that's what? A to the what? Good. 20A to the 9. Now listen, for those of you guys who are not here, listen to me. It really would be a good idea to listen to the video. And part of the reason why is because I explain exactly why you add exponents. And it's something important because when you forget, I'm trying to teach you how to figure things out when you forget. All right? Because it's very simple to do. It's very easy to figure out why you add the exponents. We're not going to get into it right now. Mr. Kemp, you're up. 16. Beautiful. Number 18. Checking yourself. Good. Next. You're not power to power. Were you here yesterday? Power to power, you multiply. So that would be what? The exponents. Very good. P to the 36. I like that. All right, very good. 3 times 12. I know. Pull out your calculator. All right. P to the 36. All right. So now you got to be careful with 22. You're awesome. Negative 27y to the third. Because, don't forget, negative 3 cubed means negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. You with me? There's a difference between a number and an exponent. This is a power which is to the first power, power to power. Everybody good? All right, and finally, number 24. Here we go, 24. All right, finally, 1 for 24, not bad. All right, let's take a look at 26. Here we go. Henry, go, 26. Think about, yes, but you're right if you said this, CD squared. But it should be what? No. Tell him. Yes, that's better. You understand that. C squared, D squared, that's kind of easy. Well, because you're multiplying C to the first squared. 1 times 2 today is 2. Yesterday for you was different, but today it's 2. All right? 1 times 2 again, not a trick question. Yes, I know, 2. Very good. All right, so you with me on that? Now again, listen guys, if you want to take a quick look at 26 and 27, those are the solutions, but we need to go ahead and get going. All right, now again, like I said, those of you guys who came back today, all right, I really recommend that you watch the video so you get a good understanding of why you're adding exponents. All right, but for now, let's flip back now. All right, today we're going to do 7.2. All right, we're going to do 7.2, and I'm going to go ahead and just clear this. I already addressed that. I already addressed Google Drive and the problems we're having. Is there anything I can do? No, listen, no, you can't because you're concentrating on your math. I already gave you a solution. The solution is to open up a page in Notability and just write what I'm writing down. That's the solution. And then tonight you can take care of it. All right? But we can't wait. We got a lot of work to do. All right. So now we're going to talk about dividing exponents. All right? So now all I need you to do is I need you to have your attention because it's kind of like what I said yesterday. When you forget, you're going to be able to go back and do what? Figure it out. Is everybody hearing me? All right? So now, if I said to you, what is a to the 5th divided by a, well, let me do this. I want to do a instead of 5. I'm going to do a to the 6th. If I said a to the 6th divided by a squared, that's obviously a to the 4th. Right? Now, we're going to explain why. All right? And this is what I want you to be able to do. A to the 6th means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody agrees with that, right? And then a squared means a times a, right? Now, what is a divided by a? Come on now. What's a divided by a? 1. Anything divided by itself is what? 1. What is this a divided by this a? 1. So my answer is a to the 4th. Everybody see that? Right? So now it's safe to say when I divide variables, you subtract the exponent. That's the rule, which is kind of obvious because yesterday we said when you multiply variables, you do what? You add the exponent. Is everybody okay with that so far? Everybody all right? All right. Now, I want everybody to take a look at number 1 because people make mistakes with number 1. All right? The base remains the same. The base remains the same. So this answer is, I just want you to write it as 5 cubed. Hold on. Guys, listen. We have way too much. Way too much. All right, if you understand it, let's just move on. All right, there is no celebration for getting a problem right. All right, number 2, everybody should be able to say that's just m squared. Right? All right, question number 3, be careful. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's do 3. So here we go. P cubed. All right. I used to tell all my kids, there's no reason to celebrate because you're used to getting them right. When you're celebrating, that means you usually get them what? Wrong. All right? Same thing. You know you're getting it right. All right? Number 4. Here we go. A squared divided by A is A. Now, what we'll do is, I left off somewhere. Yeah, so here we go. Number 5. What do you got? That's correct. Now, if you don't know, now's the time. If you don't know, you just tell me. But if that's good, what? Now, listen, remember, I've been getting on you now. I want you to make, you've made hundreds almost on every test. I want you, instead of asking me a question, figure out how I got just why. You see what I'm saying? You're going to make some observations now without me telling you. You understand why that's why now? You're supposed to say yes, of course. You with me, right? Because that's the only thing that can happen with x to the 5th and x to the 5th. You agree? All right. So, Ingalls, you're up. Number 6.
Oh, sorry.
Shh. I just look up on the board if you're having trouble.
So would it be -7?
Now, first of all, listen, what I'm going to do right here for you guys is look up here on the board because I thought this was kind of important. Watch, please. If I said, what's negative 2/14, you would just say it's negative. Stop. I'm talking to Ingalls. Come on now. Yeah. No. See, that's what I'm trying to make sure. It's the fraction, 2/14. It can't be 7. So it is what? Yes, ma'am. 1/7. You understand what I'm trying to tell you, right? So again, again, this is what I've been trying to help Daniel with a lot. Some of you guys make hundreds and A's on every test. And now, instead of asking me questions, I want you to say, hey, this is how he got it. Right? So when you're looking up here, how did I get negative 1/7? I treated it just like a fraction. I treated it just like a fraction. Ingalls, you good with that? All right. Now, what we're doing is we're addressing the variables. So now what? Good. Negative 1y squared over 7. Anybody have any issues? Any issues with that? Now remember, instead of asking a question, say, how is the only way I can make a 2 with 7 and 5? Subtract. I don't know what the question is. The fraction 2/14 reduces to what? 1/7. I have no idea what the question is. Everybody should just go, wow, oh, I didn't know that, but that makes perfectly good sense.
Why would the y squared be with a 1?
Where do you want it to be? Where do you want it to be?
Oh, so
I'm asking you a question. Where do you want it to be? Oh, you want it on the bottom? Well, there's obviously a right answer. You're in the same position I'm trying to help him with. Make a decision. What is it? Why is it on the top? I want you to answer the question. I want you to answer your own question. Why do you think y squared's on the top? Oh, come on. You want to tell him? Why is the y on the top?
because it stays with the once divided, it's still on the top of it.
Because there are how many y's on the top?
7.
7. There are 7. And how many on the bottom? 5. So when you cross them out, there will be how many? 2 left. Where? On the top. You see what I'm trying to show you now, right? All right, here we go. Let's continue because we got a lot to do. Number 7, all right, which brings me to here. Okay, you're up. Number 7, yes. Yes. Yeah, 6 minus 4. I know. Break out the calculator. All right, there we go. Y squared, because the Wow, X's cancel out. Brilliance. Right, see how smart you guys are? There's X on top, X on bottom, they cancel. All right. Number 8, here we go. Uh-oh. Now, let me go through this one because this is a little bit different because it involves an exponent, okay? So listen to me, please. So I always tell my kids it's easier to simplify what's inside the parentheses first. So when I emphasize or when I simplify the inside, I want everybody to be able to tell me that's simplified to 2ab cubed. Do I have any issues with that? That's good, right? Because I just reduced the a squared and the a, right? Now I'm cubing. So 2 cubed is 8, a cubed, b cubed. There you have it. That should be pretty logical. Everybody good? All right, here we go. Let's take a look at number 9. I want first step, reduce the fraction. All right, we're up. Tell me what can you reduce? Can I reduce the 4/3? No, very good. So I just leave 4/3. Now go to the variables. Amazing. And? Very good. Raised to the 3rd power. That's my recommendation. All right? Now, 4 cubed, we should know is 64. And 3 cubed is 27. Now it would be p to what power? Shh, quiet. Go. P to the 6th and perfect. All right, power to power, we multiply for those guys who weren't with me yesterday. All right, here we go. Let's check out number 10. All right, give it your best shot. Simplify the inside. That was a 4. Yes. There we go. So what do we got? Actually, that's 6. Go. I know what you mean. Go. There are 4 sides, yes. What's squared? 24, 2, 4, 8, 16. 16 r to the what? All right, no. What is it? R to the?
No.
To the?
No. Yeah, R.
That's perfect. That is amazing. You got everything right on that one. I appreciate that. 100. 100. All right. Yeah, if anybody needs help, we know where to go. All right. Here we go. Next, simplify, please. Here we go. Shh. Here we go.
Would it just it would stay the 3/2.
Good.
And then R.
And then?
It would just be R. And then N to the.
Brilliant. All right. 3 to the 4th. Today is what? Like this. 3 times 3. 3 times 3. 9 times 9. That's the quickest way.
That's what I just did.
81. So now 2 to the 4th is what? Shh. Good. And then it would be R to the?
R to the 4th.
And then N to the? Beautiful. All right, here we go. Next, number 12. Nope. Charlotte, let's go.
Come on, Charlotte. Let's go, Charlotte. Let's go, Charlotte. You got this, Charlotte.
Listen to me. How many R's on top? How many R's on the bottom? So that leaves me with. There you go. Girl, remember what I told you. Never get upset about math, ever. It's not worth it. Okay? Now find the ends. There you go, girl. N to the 4th. And then what happens to the T's? Look how easy. Come on. Your math.
Yes, you.
You good? Now tell me which one you want me to go over. Okay, well, you understand it or not? I'll show you. You having trouble with 81 or 16? What do you tell me? Or what part? All right, here we go. Now, I need everybody's attention up here so I can really explain to you negative exponents. All right? Again, everything in math, not everything, but most things in math have to do with patterns. So once you recognize the pattern, all the problems are going to be easy because you apply the basics to the what? Complicated, and nothing changes. All right, so let me explain to you how they figured out what something to the 0 power was, something to the first power, and something to a negative power. So please, I need your attention. Look up. Stop what you're doing and look up here. And you'll understand completely why negative exponents work the way they do. All right, so everybody look up. Tell me, we already know that 2 to the 4th is 16, right? Then 2 to the 3rd was what? 8. 2 squared is what? 4. So just by patterns, we're going down. What are we doing? Dividing by 2. So if I say 2 to the 1st, we know that's what? 2. Because 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that's how they discovered anything to the first power is itself. All right, now before you say something, I'm trying to get you to make some observations. Now is a good time to make a good observation, even though half of you are probably going to be wrong because you're not thinking. All right? So I want someone to tell me what 2 to the 0 is. What is it? 1. What do you think it is? 0. Good. 0. Good. 0. 0.
0.
Tell us why. That's what I'm telling you. See, you're not. Listen, you are not listening to me. I'm telling you, follow a pattern. So you do what you think is correct. You put no more thought in that than my explanation on the board. I'm asking you a question. I said, what do you do to go from step to step? What did you tell me? So now some of you are telling me 2 divided by 2 is 0. That's what some of you are telling me. 2 divided by 2 is what? 1. That's how they figured out anything to the 0 power is what? 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Now, you're going to get a chance to redeem yourself. All right? You must think before you say something, or you're going to sound silly. So now the question is 2 to the negative 1. 2 to the negative 1. Did you think about it? What is it? Negative 1/2. Negative 2. Negative 2. Negative 1/2. Of course, it's 1/2. What is the pattern? Every single time we do what? Every single time we do what? We divide by 2. So now, 1 divided by 2 somehow becomes negative 2, or somehow becomes negative 1/2, because you're not thinking about it. Guys, hear me, listen to me. That's what I'm trying to show you, how you can figure things out. But you can't figure things out if you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. To me, personally, if I was making up math, I would have made the answer what? Negative 2. Because that's the first thing that would come to my mind. But then when somebody showed me the pattern, the only thing it could be was what? 1/2. All right? So now, come on now. You got your last chance. All right? Before you have to go home with a dunce cap on.
Oh, God.
I got them right in my desk, too. 2. 2 to the negative 2. You're going home with a dunce cap. 1/4. All right. How special are you?
I was going to say
How
that, but
special?
you
No, you weren't. You weren't. All right. Now, let me explain something. here's where you got to connect the dots. Here, look, listen to me. 1/4 is the same as 1 over 2 squared. I don't think that's tricking anybody. Does everybody agree with that? So now, let me show you now what your connection is. This negative exponent, please listen. If something has a negative exponent, you just have to move it. It's on the top. I move it where? To the bottom. What do you think if it's on the bottom it's going to do? Move it to the top. And then you change it to positive. So, for example, if I say x to the negative 2, y to the negative 3, you should be able to quickly tell me that's the same as?
X to the third, y to the second.
Say that, look at it again. What is it? Someone else. How do I simplify x to the negative 2? Where does x to the negative 2 go?
Oh, down below.
And where does y to the negative 3 go? Where?
Y to the negative 3 goes up.
So what's the answer?
Y cubed over x squared.
Listen to me. That's really and truly, listen to me. That is all there is to negative exponents. All right, that's all there is. If it's negative, you must move it. If it's in the numerator, you put it in the denominator. If it's in the denominator, you move it to the numerator. All right, now we got to get going. All right, so here we go. Let's take a shot at this right here. Now, please, I'm going to do the first couple, and you're going to try to get it. All right, now again, listen. You're not going to ask me, how did you do that? When I write the answer, you're going to figure out how I did that if you don't know. All right, so here's the answer to number 1. The answer number 1, I'm going to write it out all together. Because this negative exponent moved to the top and it became 2 to the third. Then when you multiply, you add exponents. All right, so now I'm on number 2. No, it would be 32, but that's okay. All right, I don't care about the number. I care about the exponents right now. So now, here's what I want you to see for number 2. M times m to the 4th, which is the same as m to the 5th. Because when you multiply variables, you add their exponents. All right? Here we go. That's why we're practicing. Now, again, you got to pay attention. Look carefully. 1 over p cubed times p to the 8th. 1 over p to the 11th. Now, don't ask a bunch of questions. Look up. Say, hey, the p to the negative 8 was negative, so he moved it. He moved it down. And when you move it down, put your hands down. When you move it down, it became what? A positive. And then when you multiply, you add the variables. Now, when you move something and there's nothing there in the numerator, it's a what? It's a 1. It's not a 0. It's a 1. Shh. Listen. When you write a fraction, for example, the number 4 is the same as 4 over 1. We just don't write over 1. Right? If I said the fraction 1/4, did that make any sense to write the fraction 1/4 like that? That's not 1/4. The fraction 1/4 must have a 1 in the numerator. You can't write a fraction with nothing in the numerator. Does everybody agree with me? So that's why I left a 1 in the numerator. All right, come on, a little bit easier every time. All right, number 4. All right, don't freak out. Look up. Wow, b to the 5th over b to the 4th, which is b to the 1st. Yep, and again, and just, come on guys, you know that. Now look, eventually you're going to be good at it. You don't have to do all the steps. But right now you're training your brain to get rid of the negative exponent. So it'd be a good idea to try to make sure that you do it properly. All right? Let's see how good you are with number 5. We already said anything to the 0 power is this. Some of you guys are not listening. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So now let's see this. 1 w to the first over 4y squared. Look. That whole quantity is to the 0, correct? So that whole quantity is what? 1. The purple that's highlighted is a 1. Anybody have any questions with why it's 1? Speak up now. So I can tell you anything to the 0 power is what? 1. All right? Now, the only thing with the negative exponent is the, what letter? W. So I moved it from the bottom. That's how simple that is. What?
Oh.
We're getting there. All right? Let's not make generalizations. All right, here we go. Now, on question number 6. I would like you to write it as, just now, a squared b cubed squared ab squared. Does everybody see that? I had to take care of this first because it's to the what? Negative exponent. Does everybody see that? So I moved it from the bottom where? And then we're just simplifying. So this would be a to the 4th, b to the 6th, times a squared b squared, which is a to the 6th, b to the what? 8th. Now I know I went fast, so let it digest a little bit. Look up there. If you need me to say it one more time, I'll be happy to say it again. But again, I'm trying to get you to see my work and see how I got the only possible way I can get those answers. There's only one way to do it. And your job is to make that generalization. Any questions or concerns? Yes. I wasn't. I was just saying, boom, that's my answer. All right. All right, here we go. Let's find 7. All right. Now, you guys know that's x to the 4th, x squared, x 6. Take a look at it. Follow it. Any issues? Any issues? All right. Here we go. Get a little bit harder. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to highlight this. Right? That's a problem. All right, so I need you to look up. I want you to look up. All right? This, I can't get rid of. I can't just put it in the bottom. Why can't I put it at the bottom? Because there's a 2 acting on that. Everybody with me? So I want to do this. You tell me if you agree. 36, a to the negative 2, b squared over b to the 8th. Tell me if you agree with that. All right, hold up now. I want to make sure because this is a good time to ask. Anybody have any questions? Because remember, power to power, we always do what? Multiply. Power to power, we're multiplying. Yes, ma'am. Good for you.
But if you're multiplying negative 1, oh wait, never mind.
I know, sometimes. All right. Now, I want you to know this fraction bar, 36, a squared, b to the 6. Everybody happy?
Why is the b to the 6?
2 minus 8. We're subtracting those. You with me? Look right here. Again, this is a good question, all right? So I want you to hear me. How many b's are on the bottom? 8. How many are on the top? So if I cross 2 out from the top, that leaves me 6 on the bottom. You with me? That's important. Very important. That's how you should be thinking about it. All right, let's try number 9 here, guys. All right, here we go. So please look. Number 9. Pay attention now. And you can try to be a step ahead of me if you want. But here we go. 9, r squared, t squared, r to the 1st, t squared, u to the 7th, u to the 4th. Everybody see I moved everything with a negative exponent. You agree? Any issues? Now, of course, that's not done yet, because now I've got to simplify. All right, so here we go. Now, 9. How many R's on the top? 3, thank you. There's a 2 and a 1. Sometimes kids say 2. But there's a square into the first. So is everybody okay with that being R cubed? How many T's at the top? How many at the bottom?
2.
So they
Cancel.
cancel 2A, 1. And anybody remember, when you're dividing, you get 1s, not 0s. And then I'm looking at the U's. How many U's?
11.
Look, guys, hopefully you agree now. That's simple, 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 simple. All right, keep going. Let's knock out, number 11. I just flashed by number 11 for a second.
So scared.
Anything that, wow, it's so scary. Anything to the 0 power is?
1.
That equals 1. That's how scary that was.
Such a scary one.
What?
On number 8.
Come on.
Or number 9.
Yes, yes.
Where did the T's go?
Why don't you tell me?
Oh, the
Right? You see what I'm trying to tell you too, Walker? I'm trying to get you to make those generalizations. You with me? All right, here we go. Got all kinds of problems here.
Do this.
So look, make yourself a fraction bar. Look, m squared t cubed. I'm just going to go ahead and put a 1 up here, and m cubed t to the 5th. Does everybody see that? Now, do I really need the 1 now at the top? In other words, please pay attention. Do I really need this?
No.
No, I don't really need that because it's the same. Anything to the first power is itself. So now, those of you guys who are thinking knows the answer here is, someone give it a shot. Go. See if you can do better than you did yesterday.
MT squared.
MT squared. Anybody agree with that? Garbage?
Oh, wait.
Wait. It's what?
I was saying the bottom.
Yes, you were. So it's what?
M squared T cubed over.
No. I want the simplified answer. No. Never do negative exponents.
1 over n t squared.
Yeah, that's what I got.
You had the right answer.
You just forgot the 1.
You know what? You're right. You can have negative exponents, but right now we don't. So if it is negative, you just move. That's it. If you put a negative exponent as an answer, I'm just going to circle it. Say we're not doing negative exponents. Later on down the road, you'll learn how to handle negative exponents better. All right, let's check out 12 now. All right, we got all kinds of issues here, guys, so I want you to pay attention. Does everybody see what I did? Anything with a negative, I moved it. Does everybody agree? Right, now I've got to simplify the denominator. So it's m to the 6th, and then I have negative 8m cubed n to the 6th times 4n to the 4th. Is everybody happy with that? Does everybody understand why it's negative 8? Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 8. Anybody have any issues with that? Second step. Now we're just going to get into combining everything, correct? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this so I can put it in the middle of the screen. All right, here we go. All right, now make another fraction bar. All right, so I have m to the 6th. What's negative 8 times 4?
Negative 32.
Negative 32. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and put down m cubed n to the 6th, n to the 4th. So everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
All I do is I multiplied, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it just be?
So now my answer is, I'm going to write this as 1 or negative 1 over 32. Does everybody agree it doesn't matter where the negative goes?
Yeah.
It's usually either out in front or in the numerator. We normally don't write it in the denominator. Now, that's not the final answer, of course, because how many m's are up top? How many on the bottom? So that leaves me with, at the, yes, m cubed. Now, how many n's? All together?
10.
There you go. Into the 10th. All right, guys, that's actually really good and really, really tricky and really, really important. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Understand what I'm telling you. Now, your assignment is just 1 through 26.
Oh,
Just 1 through 26. On the next page, brilliant.